Funerals are meant for crying and sadness, they said. But as for Amara, eating jollof rice right from a big bowl right beside her ex coffin felt like she had finally gotten her revenge. If love was blind, then Amara was the perfect example. She wasn't just blind, she was completely lost in it. Her friends used to whisper behind her back, this Amara will kill herself on top of a man one day. But Amara never cared because in her eyes, Obi was the sun. And who argues with the sun? Who questions the light that brightens the whole world? Obi was tall, dark, and the type of man who had the kind of smile that could melt a woman's heart. He spoke softly, his voice deep and calm, like a stream flowing through the quiet village of Nkwo. Whenever Obi laughed, even the stubborn goats on the roadside would pause and turn their heads. That was the kind of charm he carried. And Hamara, she was hooked, not halfway, not just in case. She was hooked with her whole chest. From the very beginning, Amara gave Obi her everything, not just her heart, not just her trust. She gave him her strength, her money, her time, her entire being. Every morning before work, she would rush to Obi's house. She would sweep his compound, wash his clothes, clean his small room, and cook for him. Imagine, before she even got to her own workplace, Amara was already sweating for Obi like a paid housemaid. Her colleagues at work noticed her tired face and teased her. Amara, are you a girlfriend or a maid? One would say. Another would laugh. Better tell us the truth. Is Obi paying your bride price already? Amara would only smile, a shy, proud smile, because to her, sacrifice was a proof of love. She would use her little salary to support Obi's business. When Obi complained that sales were slow, Amara would dip into her savings and hand him money, whispering encouragement into his ears. Don't worry, my love, she would say, her eyes shining with faith. Today may be tough, but tomorrow will be better. You will succeed, Obi. I believe in you. And Obi would nod, sometimes hugging her, sometimes just muttering, thank you. At that time, his voice still carried warmth. For Amara, those little thank you were enough to keep her heart running. She dreamed of the day Obi would kneel down, slip a ring on her finger, and call her his wife. She dreamed of carrying his children, building a home together, growing old by his side. Amara saw her future in Obi. She didn't know she was building a house on sand, but slowly the storm started brewing. At first it was small, little things, tiny sparks. Amara noticed that Obi's smile didn't last as long as before. His hugs felt weaker, his words shorter. One morning, after Amara had finished washing Obi's clothes and was serving him breakfast, she made a small mistake. The salt in the beans was a bit too much. Instead of laughing it off like before, Obi frowned. Amara, why can't you do something right for once? He begged, pushing the plate away. Her hand froze. Her eyes widened. It was the first time Obi raised his voice at her. Obi, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Amara stammered, but Obi didn't even look at her. He stood up, muttered something under his breath, and left the room. Amara sat there, staring at the untouched food. Her heart pounded, not from anger, but from fear. Fear that maybe, just maybe, Obi was changing. Yet, the more Amara gave, the more Obi pulled away. He started getting angry at little things. If she called him too much, he said she was disturbing him. If she didn't call enough, he accused her of not caring. Late at night, When Hamara stayed back at his place after work, Obi would step outside to take phone calls, calls that lasted too long, calls he didn't want her to hear. When she asked him who was it, he snapped, "Must you know everything?" The more Obi changed, the more Hamara broke. But still, she stayed, because in her heart, she believed love was patience, love was sacrifice, love was endurance. Her friends begged her to leave. "Amara, open your eyes. This man doesn't deserve you." But Amara would smile and shake her head. "You people don't understand. Obi loves me. He's just going through a hard time." But deep down, a shadow had already started growing in her heart. A shadow of doubt, a shadow of fear. The Amara who used to laugh easily began to cry quietly in the corners of her room. The Amara who used to walk boldly now walked with her shoulders bent. Yet still she loved him. And then the day came, the day when love cracked wide open, the day when Amara realized that no matter how much you pour into some people, they will never see your worth. That day changed everything. The day everything shattered looked so ordinary at first. The sky was bright, and Amara hymned a song as she carried a small bag of food to Obi's house. She had prepared his favorites, jollof rice with fried chicken and goat meat. She wanted to surprise him, to remind him that despite his coldness, she still loved him with her whole chest. But when she entered his compound, Obi was already outside, and his face, it was like thunder clouds. "Obi, my love," Amara greeted with her usual smile, but Obi didn't smile back. Instead, he folded his arms and said, "Amara, we need to talk." Those words, those four simple words, they dropped into Amara's stomach like stones. Her smile wavered. Talk? About what? Obi didn't waste time. He didn't sugarcoat it. He just dropped the bomb, like a careless child dropping a plate. "I don't want this relationship again. I'm done." The ground shook under Amara's feet. She blinked, certain she hadn't heard right. "Obi, what did you just say?" "I said I'm done." Obi snapped, his voice hard, his eyes colder than harmattan morning. "I'm tired, Amara. I don't love you anymore. I need space." Her face squeezed so tight. "After everything, after all I've done for you." But Obi's face didn't even twitch. "Don't make it harder than it is. Please just go. Find your own life. I can't do this anymore." And with that, he turned his back on her. Just like that. No goodbye kiss. No thank you for the year of sacrifice. Just cold dismissal. Like she was an old shoe he no longer needed. Amara stood there for a long time, clutching the bag of food, her hands trembling, her vision blurred with tears. Inside her bag was love, effort, and care, but Obi didn't even care to taste it. When she finally turned away, her steps were heavy. Her world has ended. Yet people around her were still laughing, still walking, still living. It wasn't fair. That night, Amara wept until her pillow was soaked. She replayed their memories over and over. His smile, his promises, his touch. She asked herself questions that had no answers. Was I not enough? Did I love too much? But no matter how many tears she shed, the truth stood tall like a stubborn Hiroko tree. Obi had left her. Time moved on. Amara tried to rebuild herself, though her heart carried scars. She worked harder at her job, avoided places that reminded her of Obi, and slowly she began to breathe again. But Obi, he didn't even waste time. Before long, whispers spread through town. "Have you heard? Obi has found another woman. Her name is Precious. The first time Amara saw her, she almost laughed at the irony. Precious was tall, fair-skinned, and elegant. She walked like a queen and spoke with the sweetness of honey. People said Obi had struck gold. She is gentle, they said. She is respectful, homely, a true wife material. And Obi, he looked 10 years younger whenever he was around her. He carried Precious like an egg, smiling from ear to ear, posting her pictures everywhere, introducing her proudly as the woman of my dreams. Amara watched from a distance, her heart a battlefield of pain and bitterness. So, this is the angel he left me for, she whispered to herself one evening. Let's see how far this angel will fly. The wedding came faster than thunder after lightning. The day of the ceremony, the village buzzed with celebration. Drummers beat their drums, dancers shook their waists, and Obi stood tall in his agbada, grinning like a king who had finally found his crown. Precious was the picture of perfection. Her smile could light up 10 streets. Her voice was soft, her laughter graceful, her every move dripping with charm. She walked beside Kobe like an angel, clothed in lace. But Amara knew better, because behind that angelic smile, she had caught something dark, something sharp. When Precious glanced at Amara during the wedding, their eyes met for only a second. But in that second, Amara saw it, the flicker of cruelty, because Precious was not who she pretended to be, and Obi was about to find out the truth the hard way. At first, Obi thought he had truly entered heaven. Precious was everything he had prayed for. Calm, soft-spoken, and caring, she woke him with sweet smile in the morning. She prepared his favorite meals with extra love. She massaged his shoulders after work and whispered, "My king, you are the best." Obi walked around the village like a proud peacock. He boasted to his friend, "Have you seen my wife? God really favored me. Precious is different. She's a true woman." People envied him. They said he was lucky. They said Amara was the past, but Precious was the future. But the thing about masks is this: they never stay on forever. One day, the truth always pushes through. It started small, a harsh word here, a cold look there. One evening, Obi came home a little late. Instead of welcoming him, Precious frowned. "Where are you coming from?" Obi blinked. "From the shop, I told you." "Don't lie to me," she snapped, her voice sharp like a whip. "You think I don't know you? You were with those useless friends again?" Obi froze. This was not the sweet Precious he knew, but he waved it off. Maybe she was just tired. The next day, things got even worse. Obi came back home early, thinking maybe he and Precious could spend some quiet time together. He was tired from the shop, but he wanted peace. As soon as he entered the house, Precious stood at the door, arms folded, her face tight like a drum. She looked him up and down and hissed loudly. "Obi, look at yourself," she said, pointing at his shirt. "Is this what you call dressing? See how wrinkled your shirt is. You look like a poor farmer who just came from the bush. Can't you dress like a real man for once?" Obi stopped in his track. He stared at her, shocked. "But Precious, I just came back from work. I've been busy at the shop all day." Precious wasn't done. She followed him into the room and glanced at the bag of money he brought from the day's sales. She laughed, a sharp mocking laugh. "So this is what you call business," she sneered. "This little change? I thought I married a man who could take care of me. I thought you were successful. But look at you, struggling like a common trader. If I had known, I would have chosen better." As she spoke, some visitors came to greet them. Two of Obi's friends from the village. Obi forced a smile and welcomed them, trying to hide the tension. But Precious had no shame. In front of the visitors, she raised her voice again. Look at this man you people call your friend. Tell me, is this how a real man should look? His business is crawling, his clothes are embarrassing, and yet he walks around as if he's doing something important. Sometimes I wondered if I married a man or a mistake. The visitors exchanged awkward glances. One of them coughed and tried to change the topic, but Precious refused to be stopped. She went on, tearing Hobbies apart with her words, while Hobby sat there, his face burning with shame. He wished the ground would open and swallow him. That day, Obi realized something painful. The same mouth that once called him my king was now the same mouth destroying his dignity. And deep down, inside, he knew this was only the beginning of his suffering. Within weeks, Precious turned into a completely different person. The woman who once served him food with a smile now banged plates on the table. The woman who once called him my king now is, you are useless. Is this the life you promised me? And when Hobi tried to correct her, she exploded. Don't you dare raise your voice at me. You think you can control me? Let me tell you, this is my house too. If you don't like it, then you get out. Obi's friend noticed the change. One pulled him aside and whispered, Obi, are you sure you made the right choice? This Precious, she's not what she seems. But Obi laughed nervously, trying to cover his shame. Marriage has ups and downs. She's just adjusting. But deep inside, Obi knew he had made the biggest mistake of his life. Precious became a storm that never ended. She insulted him daily. She locked up food in the kitchen and told him to find his own if he was hungry. She spent his money recklessly, buying things he didn't approve of. She controlled the house like a soldier, leaving Hobby tiptoeing around his own home. The same Hobby who once barked at Amara was now the dog being barked at. Neighbors whispered, Ha, Hobby is suffering. His wife has turned him into a shadow. But no one could help because when karma sits on your neck, who can remove it? The pressure broke Hobby's health. He lost weight. His skin grew pale. He stopped laughing, stopped smiling. The once proud man now walked with bent shoulders, his eyes hollow like empty pots. Precious didn't care. If he coughed, she shouted, Don't disturb me. If he begged for peace, she eased. Weak man. Obi tried to hold on, but his strength failed him. One evening, after yet another bitter quarrel, he collapsed. By the time help came, Obi was gone. News spread like wildfire. Obi is dead. The same man who once broke Amara's heart had been broken by life itself. The same man who once laughed with pride has been silenced by Karma's hand. His family wept. His friends shook their heads in sorrow. The village gathered to mourn him, and Amara heard the news, and her lips curled into smile. On the day of the mourning, the compound was full of people dressed in black. The air was heavy with tears. Drum beat slowly. Voice cried out, Chai, Obi, gone too soon. Mothers wailed. Men sighed. Children watched silently, not understanding the weight of death. Then something shocking happened. Amara arrived, not with a sad face, not with tears. She arrived carrying a big cooler. People turned their heads. What is she doing here? Is that not Obi's ex? Why did she bring food? Amara walked boldly into the corner of the morning ground. She set the cooler down, opened it wide, and the aroma of steaming jollof rice filled the air. Without waiting for anyone, she scooped a plate for herself, sat down and began to eat. But not just eat. She laughed loud and free, as if she was at a wedding, not a funeral. The mourners froze, their eyes wide with shock. Is this woman mad? Why is she laughing? But Amara didn't stop. She chewed loudly, licked her fingers, and laughed again, her eyes shining with something deeper than joy. Because at that moment, she wasn't just eating, she was eating victory, she was eating justice, she was eating karma served hot. And as the cries of sorrow rose around her, Amara's laughter cut through the air like thunder. She had no words for Obi, no tears left to shed, only laughter, because truly, rest in karma. If you enjoy watching this video, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.